Are you struggling with classroom management? Do your students lack engagement in the classroom? Today, we're diving into a topic that's near and dear to everyone's heart, and that's building relationships with students. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, fostering meaningful connections with your students is key to creating an environment where learning thrives. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole from Teacher of 20, and here I love to inspire new and seasoned teachers by talking about all things classroom organization, student engagement, and teaching hacks to make your life a breeze. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. I upload every Friday at 2 p.m. Also, please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm to know to suggest these videos to other viewers that may benefit from this information. Without further ado, let's dive in. So, how do we build relationships with students? Let's break it down into some actionable steps. Take time to really get to know your students. Ask about their interests and hobbies outside of the classroom. Showing genuine interest in their lives outside of the classroom goes a long way in building trust and rapport.
As I was editing this video, I forgot to mention a story that I wanted to tell when talking about showing interest with students. Last year, one of my students was from Sweden, and I always took an interest in his culture. I often asked him how he said certain words in Swedish. And then he was such a sweet kid, and out of the blue one day he came up to me, and he had gotten a book from my classroom library, and it happened to be Pippi Longstocking. And he came up to me and shared with me that the author of Pippi Longstocking is Swedish, and that story comes from Sweden. And I was so taken aback, just because he never really shared things with me. You know, he was very interested in just chatting with his own friends. He didn't really, I mean, he was a fourth grader, so it's not like fourth graders are chummy with their teacher. So it just really meant a lot to me that he would take the time out to share that with me, because I had really genuinely been interested in his culture, because I've never really met anybody from Sweden. Here in Texas, most people are either, Hispanic or Anglo, really. So I think that's kind of one example of what I mean when I say show interest. You'll never know what the ways that you interact with your students, what way that resonates with them, and what that means to them, really. Are you tired of the same old boring science lessons? Do you want a fun, engaging way to teach your students science? Try the science lessons from Teacher of 20. They're fun and engaging. Each lesson comes with a 6-page predictable reader, a video of the book with text being read aloud, so your students can do a shared reading of the book before buddy reading or independently reading it, vocabulary cards with real live pictures to include in your science word bank during this unit of study, an interactive notebook activity, a sorting or matching game, and 2 worksheets. And last but not least, a boom deck per unit that includes the reader, vocabulary terms, and 8 multiple choice and drag and drop questions to assess learning. Topics are aligned with the Texas Science TEKS. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to cut down on your workload and provide your students with fun, ready-made lessons. Click the link in the video description now.
A warm smile and a welcoming attitude can make all the difference. Let your students know that they can come to you with questions and that you're there to support them every step of the way. Effective communication is key. Take time to listen to your students and really hear what they have to say. Offer constructive feedback. Be open to their ideas and perspectives. By fostering open lines of communication, you'll create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected.
Editing Nicole here again. Just wanted to share one more thing about effective communication. The first year back into the classroom for me was a real struggle because I I didn't realize that I didn't take the time to make sure that everybody was listening to me before I started talking. I would just call students' attention, they would disregard me, and they would keep talking, and then I would move on to give the directions. And then after I was done giving the directions, I would have like 10 students come up to me after I dismissed them to do their work and ask me for what they were supposed to be doing. And it took me a long time to realize that the reason why that was is because I wasn't stopping and making sure that they were listening to me the first time. Nobody listened to me the first time because everybody just kept talking over me when I was giving the instructions, and I let it happen. I didn't stop and say, guys, everybody needs to be listening to me right now. Everybody needs to freeze and listen to me right now. And one game changer that I had, aha moment, epiphany, whatever you want to call it, is that at my second year, I stopped when I, gave the attention getter, whatever that may be, whatever that looks like in your classroom. If students aren't stopping and listening to you, then you just wait. And that can also be tied to like an incentive system, like, oh, you lost a letter of the day, or you lost a transition star, or whatever that looks like in your classroom. But really, before you give the directions, make sure that part of effective communication is making sure that students are listening when you're giving explicit instructions, so that you don't have 10, 15 students asking you for clarification once you've said the assignment. And then in addition to this, another thing that really helps is just written as well as verbal communication, especially with assignments. That really helps because if somebody wasn't paying attention, and you do have it posted on the board and they have to ask you for clarification, you can always just point to the board and not have to like repeat yourself over and over again. And that allows them to kind of save face because they always have like a reference point, like, oh, I could just look for it, on the board if I, misunderstood or was accidentally, talking to my friend and not listening to the teacher.
Show empathy and understanding. Remember, your students are human beings with their own unique struggles and challenges. Be there to lend a listening ear, offer words of encouragement, and provide support when they need it most. Consistency is key. Establish clear expectations from day one and stick to them. Your students will feel more secure and confident knowing what to expect. And this will help to build a strong foundation for your relationships with them.
And one final thought about being consistent. One mistake that I made my first year teaching is students would come up to me when they were done with whatever work they had, like their assignment or whatever, and they would ask if they could use their iPad. And I would say yes in the hopes that like only that person would use their iPad. Well, lo and behold, everybody like would realize that somebody was using their iPad. So everyone's like little lights would go off and it'd be like, "Oh, we could use our iPad? We could use our iPad?" And then it would like spread like wildfire, and it just affects the classroom in a negative way. So be consistent. For me now means everybody gets the same treatment. It's not like the one kid that asks you to use their iPad, that's the kid that gets it. Because then, like, everyone's gonna, you know, want to ask you. So make sure that you're consistent and stick to your guns. If you say after the end of when you're done with your work, you're going to read a book silently until I give the next instruction, then that's what we're all doing. Don't abandon your plan. Make sure that you stick to it. And a good rule of thumb is just everybody gets the same treatment. That's your like rule of thumb that you have to realize. And I think that saying it out loud, it seems simple, but like when you're in a classroom with students, I don't know, in the moment, sometimes you make like rookie mistakes that you're like, I should have known better. But for some reason, or maybe it's just me, I don't know, but I know that I personally made that mistake. So I'm just trying to impart wisdom just from my own experience.
And there you have it. 5 simple yet powerful strategies for building relationships with your students. Remember, investing in these relationships is not only crucial to your students' academic success, but it also makes teaching a whole lot more rewarding. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and leave a comment below with your favorite relationship building strategy.